It's going to be a beautiful day. It's beautiful outside already. Good morning. It feels like a perfect spring day. So that eliminates one thing that we have to complain about is the weather because it is amazing outside already. I don't know if it's going to call for rain or not, but enjoy as much of it as you possibly can while it is nice. It feels like a perfect spring day. Happy Friday. How y'all doing? We made it to the end of the week. That is such a blessing. All the things you came into this week worrying about, and how I'm going to make it to the end of the week, and what I'm going to eat, and all of that kind of stuff, and what bills need to be paid. And you made it to the end of the week, and you survived another week. Sometimes we just have to forget about the whole week and just take it day by day. That's such a good idea. Just take it day by day, moment by moment, hour by hour. Live in the moment. No worrying, no stressing about how I'm going to make it through. Just survive this moment. That will help us so much more opposed to us trying to carry the weights of the world on our shoulders every single day and trying to figure out how we're going to figure out our whole life within a matter of minutes. We cramming all this stuff into our brains, and our thoughts are going a million miles per second and all of that kind of stuff. And then eventually you get mentally exhausted because you're trying to figure out your whole life in one day. Let's just live in the moment. Let's just live in the moment, enjoy life, and take it all in as it comes. We have to learn how to activate our faith a little more. That's something that I've been practicing over the years. I don't have all the answers. I don't know what's to come. I don't even know what's going to happen. So I have to learn how to give it all to God and trust Him that no matter what happens, God is going to work it all out for me. And oftentimes, God works it out for me every single time. So that strengthens my faith even more because worrying does not help anything. So let's just start this day off with a little bit of faith, y'all. Putting our trust in God, thanking Him for what He has already done, not worrying about what tomorrow is going to look like, celebrating Friday. We made it to Friday. I am in celebration mode still. My third child turned 22 years old today. I'm so grateful to God for that because even with having simple conversations with him, he's grateful for his own life. You know, we are from the streets of Philadelphia where sometimes it don't sound so good coming from back home. And I'm grateful that we don't have to live there anymore. So one of the best decisions that I did make for myself and for my children was uproot them, the ones who were not old enough to make their own decisions to stay. I still have two adults. Can't even call them children anymore, but they are my loves who still live in the city of Philadelphia. And my son is just so grateful because his friends and even some of the same people that he used to hang out with and go to school with, some of them are not here anymore, and some of them just continue to go through a whole lot and because of their circumstances. And I don't believe that anybody should be a reflection of the circumstances that they were born into. You know, we are strong enough to use our own power to change the narrative of our life despite of the circumstances that we were born into. That we need to take advantage of any opportunity and every opportunity to do so. I'm not saying that it's always bad coming from back home, but I just don't think it's a place to raise kids. I love the city that I'm from. I was born and raised in the city of Philadelphia, and I still have family and friends there that I love dearly. But I'm grateful that I'm here in the state of Delaware, and my children have a better opportunity at their lives, and we are now reaping the benefits of living here where we are. And I'm just grateful for my son's life. I'm so very proud of him. 22 years old and doing big things. So shout out to you, Karan Gary Bay, on your 22nd anniversary around the sun. Happy birthday to you, King, if you decide to watch this video. If not, I just want to give my son a shout out on his birthday today. But anyway, how y'all doing? How y'all doing? I hope y'all woke up feeling good this morning. I'm not going to take up too much of y'all time. I'm going to be really quick. I just want to talk about discipline today. I want to talk about self-discipline. Of course, that's something that goes through my mind on a regular basis. And I just try to touch on some things that I know some of you all can relate to, and some things that I struggle with personally. And self-discipline can be a struggle for everyone. And although the Lord has allowed me to be disciplined in different areas of my life, sometimes I give myself a pass because I do a lot, and I just give myself that leisure time. But you don't want to get complacent, and you don't want to give yourself too much leisure time. So that's where our self-discipline comes into place. I made a video yesterday, and I talked about how the decisions that we make and the things that we do have a direct reflection on the people that we love in our lives, and the importance of the things that we do, the reflection that it has on the people that we love, the things that we do and the things that we don't do. And sometimes we think that it stops with us just wanting to do whatever we want to do, or not doing something because we don't feel like it, and we lose sight of the fact that the things that we do and don't do has a major impact on those that love us most and those around us. So the decisions that we make is not, it doesn't stop with us, because people, number one, our loved ones are watching us in their lives, especially those of us as parents. Their lives are a reflection of our lives. So when we don't do things like incorporate self-discipline in our lives, and our children's life reflect that, then the shoulda, coulda, wouldas, sometimes it would end up being too late for you to say, wow, I wish I should have lived my life differently. And all the sacrifices that I made over the years that obviously had a reflection on the way that my children live their lives today. If I put it on a scale, it doesn't, like, it was so much worth it. Like, it was not worth me being indulged in temporary gratifications and, men, sex, drugs, and all of those kind of things, and all the things that I had to walk away from, whether it was a marriage or relationship or anything that did not serve me, just because I know my children were looking at me and I didn't want them to have the same struggles that I had, or I don't want them to grow up having the same struggles that I have. It was always so worth me turning myself around and making my life better for me. And it did. It obviously did. It had a major reflection on my children's life. So I think about those things. I think about those things even now today, in the decisions that I make in my life today, because I know that they are watching me. And that's where our discipline, if you don't think about nothing else, think about those who you do it for, those who love you the most, those who are really rooting for you. I ain't talking about your fake haters and all that kind of stuff and your fake friends. I'm talking about your kids. I'm talking about your spouse. I'm talking about the people who really sincerely love you from the bottom of their hearts. Think about those who mean the most to you, and not only just think about them, take their lives into consideration as well before you make the decision to do or not to do. How can you be effective in helping somebody else if you don't even help yourself? study pouring into other people, but you are not pouring into yourself. I mean, what happens when, say, if our health is affected and we are physically unable to help or provide or show up for our loved ones the way that we need to show up because we've been so busy helping them that we are not focusing on helping ourselves. So putting yourself first and prioritizing your own health, prioritizing your own needs, and doing the necessary things that you need to do for yourself is helping someone else, because you can't be but so effective in other people's lives if we don't learn how to prioritize ourselves. So that's where our self-discipline comes into place. And I feel like this conversation was so important because oftentimes we make so many excuses why we don't do the things that we know we need to do. We make 1,000,001 excuses, and I don't feel like it, and I don't have time for it, and I got to take care of this person, and I got to take care of that person. But what happens when you crash and burn? And let me just say this as well. When we set up disciplines for ourselves and when we create good habits for ourselves, no, it's not easy. Maintaining self-discipline is not easy, and incorporating discipline in your life is not easy. But the more you do it, the more it becomes a part of you. It just does. It just becomes a part of your everyday life, so it don't even seem like it's something that you are doing anymore. It makes me think about my twin sister and I. We don't eat chicken anymore. So we stopped eating chicken some years ago, and my twin still talks about how the smell of chicken and all that stuff, it kind of gives her a craving for a piece of chicken, which she never gives into that craving. She's been very strong with not eating chicken. And as for me, I don't get the craving to eat chicken anymore. My kids eat chicken. I fry up, so I can fry chicken with my hands tied behind my back. That's just what I do. I cook. And it just became a part of me. I know that that's something that I wanted to eliminate from my diet for whatever reason. I'm not going to talk your head off about that. But once I began to do it, it just became a part of me. And I just don't eat chicken no more. I don't eat chicken. I don't eat pork. It makes me think about me. I don't eat potato chips, and I don't eat cookies no more. So I don't remember the last time I ate potato chips or cookies. But those are two things that I love to do. But when I looked in the mirror, I know I wanted to lose weight, and I see all these extra fat pockets here and there. And I'm like, I know I want to get rid of some of these fat pockets, is because I like to jump into a bag of potato chips anytime I feel like it. And I was like, I have to learn how to discipline myself when it comes down to things like eating potato chips. So I completely eliminate potato chips out of my diet just so I won't have to struggle with minimizing the amount of potato chips that I eat. If I know it's something that I cannot control, I just don't do it at all. That's the same thing with anything else, with drug and alcohol addiction, with whatever that your struggle is. I mean, if you just have to eliminate it completely out your life, I mean, a lot of us struggle with our eating habits. So of course we cannot not eat at all. We have to eat to survive. But if you know there are certain things that you don't have control over, when you begin to eat them, you eat 5 of them instead of 2. You eat more than what you need, then maybe you should eliminate that thing out of your diet. And I'm talking because it's literally like the end of October, and we are approaching a brand new year. And I know people want to set certain disciplines and do new things with their life and think about New Year's resolutions and all that kind of stuff. And I did introduce my Happy New You challenge to you all, where you just learn how to create new habits for yourself coming into the new year. So when you do set New Year's resolutions for yourself, it won't seem like such a chore or a burden, or I'm slapping all these things on myself at one time and I don't want to do it, and I'm tapping out, or I'm giving myself a break. And from my New Year's resolution, and that 2-day break or 3-day break or 1-week break turn into a month's house break and you turn around and your New Year's resolution is out the window. And I'm trying to prevent those things from happening. I want the life changes that we create for ourselves to be effective for us in our future. Think about the rewards and the benefits that we get from setting disciplines for ourselves. And also think about how the disappointment that you feel within yourself, that we feel within ourselves when we don't follow through with the things that we know we want to follow through with. I mean, it's not such a great feeling when we fall down back into our comfort zone and we're not making much progress and we're suffering in different areas of our life because we have not taught ourselves how to be consistent and self-discipline. So it's not a bad idea. Whatever self-discipline may look like in your life to you, or even that one thing, you can start with one thing that you know you need to buckle down and discipline yourself with. And baby steps. Take baby steps. Just do it for 2 minutes out of your day to teach yourself that I know I can do this thing. Do it consistently over the next 20 days for 2 minutes until you allow it to become a part of you. So whatever that thing may be, I don't know what your struggle is. Your struggle is not going to be the same as mine. Our lives look different. I can't tell you to do exactly what I did and what was effective for me because it may not be effective for you, but you know what your struggle is. I don't even have to tell you, and you probably did it before. Sometimes we did it before, we just end up falling off the wagon, and we are human, and we should absolutely forgive ourselves for falling off the wagon with whatever it might be, but don't give yourself an excuse to be a failure, because now you are just setting up a bad future for yourself. I don't even want to use the word bad, but you don't want to allow yourself to make excuses for yourself to become a failure because of things like self-discipline. I was just telling my son on his way to work this morning how he was saying, like, incorporating good eating habits and exercising and all of those type of things. It's hard to stick with those type of things. And I was telling him how my mother was a very sick woman and how she used to say how it's not easy being sick and it's no fun being sick. And I used to think that she was just being dramatic and just a drama queen. And I'm like, Mom, you okay? But I looked at the sincerity in her eyes one day because she kept saying that to me. It's not easy being sick. So if you think that it's hard to set up disciplines for yourself, think about the consequences of not setting up disciplines for yourself. And I love my mother dearly, and God rest her soul, but she was not very disciplined in her eating habits. And that may have had an effect on, I'm sure it did, it had an effect on the way that her health ended up, not working out for her in her favor. She was not very active and exercising and eating right and all of those kind of things. And she always talked about how much she loved her grandchildren and she wanted to live for them. But if we do, we have to think about what we love most. Do we love the food that is not good for us, or do we love, you don't want your loved one standing over top of you sick in the hospital bed. I never want my children to have to go through what I had to experience with watching my mother die. I was there right at the foot of her bed and I heard her breathe her very last breath, and I turned into a zombie in that moment, and I just walked around in circles and I just didn't know what to do. And my sister had to snap me back into reality, and she was like, listen, it happened, it just happened, now we gotta focus. So I don't want my children to have to go through that. I know it's something we all have to go one day, but I don't want to be a sick person, and I know none of you want to be a sick person. And I guess I'm kind of focusing on our health because that's probably one of the biggest New Year's resolutions that we set for ourselves, is trying to become healthier, and that's important too. I mean, physical health is more important than wealth, than money and material things. You cannot buy physical health. I don't care how rich you are. I mean, maybe temporarily you can use your money to patch it up a little bit, but all in all, you are still human, and the human body can't take but so much. So when it's time to tap out and go, it's just time to tap out and go. And people, sometimes we live our lives like we got another one. Like, I don't know. We take for granted our health. We take for granted the time that we have here on this earth. We take for granted our loved ones, the people around us that love us. We need to prioritize the things that are really important, opposed to prioritizing material things and things that are not so important. Love is more important than money. Physical health is more important than money. So, of course, we do need money, but we just are not prioritizing the things in life that are really important. And in order for us to prioritize the things in life that are really important, we are going to have to learn how to set up disciplines. We have to learn how to set up disciplines in our daily, regular lives, even if it's just baby steps. After a while, you won't even recognize that that you're setting up better things for it. Just becomes a part of you. And I'm telling you, because I know I do these things often on the regular basis, and they have a major impact on my life, on what my life is today, my health, my mental health, the things that I do for my mental health, my spiritual health, my connection with God, my emotional health, me learning how to continue to keep my emotions in order despite of all the things that are going on around me. Yes, women are emotional creatures, but I don't want my emotions to control me. I want to be able to control my emotions at all times. And in order for me to do those things, I have to set up certain disciplines for myself. I want to be in control of me at all times. I want to be control over the thoughts that go through my mind. I don't want people to take up space in my mind that are not welcome or invited there. The people that I think about in my mind, I want it to be people that makes me feel good and makes me feel happy when I think about those people. I don't want people taking up space in my mind that makes me feel angry and bitter and frustrates my mood and change my energy into something that I don't want it to be, and all of that kind of stuff. I want to have control over the thoughts that go through my mind on a regular basis. So I practice these things. I practice them on the regular basis, and it works out for me in my favor. It just does. So it takes certain disciplines, and if we don't learn how to practice self-discipline and incorporate self-discipline in our lives on a regular basis, then it's going to reflect on our lives. So our lives are going to be at the control of other people. Instead of us having control over ourselves and over our lives, people are going to come and go as they please, do what they please, talk to you as they please, and all of that all those kind of things. And we are not going to basically have control over our destiny and the direction that our life is ultimately going in. And you don't want to be that person who is just like living on a whim, like whatever happens today happens today. No, it takes something just as simple as incorporating self-disciplines in our life on a regular basis that will mean a world of difference for us. So whatever that may look like for you, I strongly encourage you to learn how to incorporate disciplines in your life. And I'm not saying that you don't or have not already, but think about the disciplines that you already have set up in your life and encourage yourself. Because if you can set up those disciplines for yourself, then you can set up even more. You can set up more disciplines for yourself. And I tell myself all the time, if I can do this or have done this, then why can't I do that? I play off of the disciplines that I already set up for myself. You know, when I stopped drinking and using drugs, I'm like, I got the big guys out the way. I was like, if I could stop drinking and using drugs, why am I still smoking cigarettes? I'm like, this is nothing. You know, I thought I would never stop smoking cigarettes. I told myself when I stopped drinking and using drugs, I was like, well, at least I still got my cigarettes. I had already set up reservations in my mind to smoke cigarettes for the rest of my life because I thought I was doing enough by stop drinking. But I'm like, no, it does not make me feel good. I'm coughing, my throat sounds horrible, I stink when I walk into a room, and I'm like, I just don't even want to smoke cigarettes anymore. So boop, out the window. I stopped smoking cigarettes with a cigarette in my hand. like like who does that? Like, I literally had a cigarette in my hand. I looked at it and I was like, I ain't smoking no more. Dropped it, stomped on it, and that was about 7 or 8 years ago, and I never smoked another cigarette since that day. And that it takes discipline. And I don't even crave cigarettes anymore. I mean, you could be sitting right next to me just puffing your little heart away, and I will never have, I don't have the desire. And I'm glad I said I will never have, because I don't want to ever have the desire to smoke another cigarette another day in my life. We don't think these things are possible for us. We just don't. And I'm not special that I can do it. Okay, I'm talking to my cigarette smokers out there. We just gonna go through the line of things that we need to learn how to be more disciplined. For us, we know that cigarettes ultimately is going to kill us. So I'm not talking about the people who never struggled with nicotine addiction. I'm talking about people who has and probably still is struggling with nicotine addiction. I'm not special. I'm not special that God just allowed me to stop smoking cigarettes, and he don't have that same discipline set out for anyone else to quit smoking cigarettes. Anybody can stop smoking cigarettes. It just depends on how bad you want it. And that's with any addiction. Number one, when I did quit smoking cigarettes, I made a sound decision in my mind, just like when I released all my other the things that I was able to release this far. Not that there's not more bad habits that I want to eventually let go of and pick up pick up better habits. But I wanted to stop. I wanted to stop smoking. So I was like, I don't want to do this no more. So if you know that you are doing something that you don't want to do, that is not pleasing for you, why are you still doing it? Because you have created that bad habit for yourself, that it has become an addiction now. If you need to release it, then you need to release it. And that it don't matter what it is. It may have became a part of you, but just like those bad habits can become a part of you, good habits can become a part of you as well. They just do. And I'm telling you, because I know, because certain good habits, better habits that I have created for myself just absolutely became a part of my daily living. And it's almost like a natural part of me that I don't even recognize that's there. Sometimes I go about my daily life and doing the things that I know I need to do on a regular basis. I am a mother, I am a provider, I wear many different hats. And along with me wearing many different hats, doing the things that I do on the regular basis, I have good habits set up for myself that I am consistent with sticking to in my daily living. And it makes me feel good to have incorporated those things in my life. And I continue to do them. They benefit me in such a major way. And it can start from small things that will have a major impact on our lives. So that is my message for today on this Friday. I do believe that I did a study on self-discipline, and this still sounds like I wish I had more discipline in my life. Like in certain areas of my life, I want to be like, not like militant, but I just want more discipline in my life because I love the outcome of self-discipline and of me incorporating discipline in my life. So, I know that my struggle is me the amount of things that I do on a regular basis and me just giving myself leisure time, which is always good because I work hard and I play hard too. Like I pamper myself, I relax a lot and all of that kind of stuff, but I just don't want to overdo it. I don't want to overdo it and then miss out on the things that I know that I'm supposed to be doing. I want to be prepared for major opportunities in my life, and I'm not going to be prepared for major opportunities in my life if I am not disciplining myself. I want to be prepared when those opportunities come. Just like when I received the email a few weeks ago to speak at the Mental Health Center in Newark, Delaware, and talk about mental health in honor of Mental Health Week. I had already done a speech on mental health maybe about 4 or 5 times prior to that. I already had like 2 mental health speeches prepared. I had one that I originally did, I had one that I modified and made it better, and I ended up doing that one again. And just like in the midst of everything that I had going on in my life, that was literally like 2 days after I came from Mexico. So all I had to do was go in my notes and pull out my good old message on self-discipline that I had already perfected. As far as I'm concerned, it was already a great message on self-discipline that I already had. Mental health that I already had prepared. And all I had to do was whip that puppy out. And that just comes from me disciplining myself enough to sit down, research, do the study, do the work, sit before you guys, talk about these things, go out into my neighborhood, speak to people about mental health and all those kind of things. So when I got in front of a crowd of people who were anticipating what I had to say about mental health, I was very comfortable with talking about mental health in front of people and with my testimony and my struggles that I had prior to mental health and where God has me today. I was very pleased with the outcome of it, and obviously from the reaction of my audience, the whole experience was just absolutely beautiful, and I'm so grateful to God that it played out the way that it did. So yes, self-discipline. We have to learn. And that's just one example. We could be presented with anything, and we don't want our lack of self-discipline to get in the way of major opportunities. That's just one example coming from my end. Like, what if you are presented with someone asks you, I don't know, whatever, and you are just not prepared because you are not taking time out enough to work on yourself, to be prepared for opportunities. These could be life altering opportunities that can lead you in a direction that your life wants to go in. So instead of feeding ourselves 1,000,001 excuses about why we don't feel like doing something, how about we try to buckle down and learn how to add value to ourselves and create more discipline in our lives so we can be prepared for life. We want to be prepared for life. We don't want life to pass us by. So I can't tell you what to do. I'm just telling you my personal philosophy on learning how to incorporate self-discipline in my life. I know it is something that I want to work on a little more, maybe a lot more, but I want us all to be able to do that. And I think this is the perfect time to talk about self-discipline, especially with us approaching the season of new beginnings and a whole new year is upon us. I believe that we should be more disciplined with ourselves, incorporating more disciplines within ourselves. So that's my message for this Friday. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I see y'all popping up on my Facebook. I'm grateful for you all who choose to tune into my live broadcast. Thank you very much for the encouraging words and all of the things that you do to react to my messages. I am so very grateful for you all. Before I go, I'm going to go ahead on and get out of here. Enjoy this beautiful Friday and move forward with my day. But I want you all to go to True Value Knowing Your Worth. If you have not yet, like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Please take the opportunity to do so. It may be a message on there that may be beneficial to your life in some way, so do not deny yourself a positive message. Maybe it's not my topic for today. It may be something else that you know you need to hear on this beautiful Friday that might give you a little jump start to your life. So go to True Value Knowing Your Worth on YouTube and subscribe. Also, my books are available on sale on Amazon. That is True Value Knowing Your Worth, Walking Treasure, Discover Your Hidden Treasures, Feed Your Soul, Your Personal Guide to Health and Wellness, and Religiously. And that is taking a closer look at spirituality and religion. It's all under my name, Sakara Bay. You can Google those titles. You can Google my name, and those things will come up and take you directly to the link. I think Amazon is running a sale on my books right now. So you may be able to get them cheap, and you may be able to, if you already have Kindle set up on your device, I believe that you are able to go on Amazon and get one of my books for free. I think it's my first book, True Value Knowing Your Worth, and read that book for free. I don't know how long that sale is going to be going, but I know someone walked up to me the other day and pulled up one of my books, and they showed me on their device that Amazon is running a sale on my books. So that's how I found out. But go ahead, jump on in there and go on to Amazon and check out the books. Right now is the perfect opportunity if you don't want to purchase them. I don't think the paperback copies are going to be free. I'm sure that it's just the Kindle. You can listen to them on audiobook or just read it right off of your device, whatever that device may be. It does not have to be a Kindle device. But yes, if you go to Amazon, you can Google my author page, look up my author page. It is under my name, Sakara Bay. And right now, you will be able to catch the sale on at least one of my books on Amazon right now. So I advise you to take the opportunity of that while it still exists. So God bless you. I love you, and thank you all so very much for your love and support. Enjoy this Friday. Enjoy this weekend. No matter what the weather may be, make it bright and sunny for yourself. Smile. Put a smile in your heart. Put a smile on your face. Make somebody's day. Give somebody a hug. Tell somebody you love them. Call somebody you haven't talked to in a long time. Reach out to your loved ones. Spread a little bit of love. As much things that is going on out here in this world, what we need more in this world is love. So do not hesitate to pay somebody a compliment, or maybe someone you had bad vibes with, kind of rekindle it. Like, make peace with somebody today. Be the bigger person. Humble yourself. Smile at somebody. You don't have to be best friends with them. Just put out the fire, and just create better relationships and spread more love in this world today. The more love that you project from yourself will be the love and the energy that you get back in return. It feels good to be loved. It feels good when people are nice to you. And the more that you are nice to other people, the more that people are nice to you. So let's just radiate some positive energy off of ourselves so we can create that type of world for ourselves, especially with the things that are going on now and here today. It is possible for us to smile and laugh and do the things that we love. Take care of yourself. Do the things that you need to do for you. And don't forget, set up some disciplines in your life today so they can have an effect on your future. We want to live good and positive and happy and healthy lives, and it will start with us creating self-disciplines for ourselves. So that is it, you guys. I love you. God bless you. In the meantime, look out for more motivational videos. Absolutely go to my YouTube channel and pop in and check out some of my newest videos, and continue to be blessed.